Well, hello, folks. Woo. It is early in the morning for me, but I imagine for a lot of you, it's a comfortable 1:34 in the afternoon. Welcome to the VISC. My name is Christian. Hopefully at some point Matt will join me, but if not, well, folks, I'm sorry. You're stuck with me for the next 2.5 hours. Welcome to the VISC Grand Prix of Mid-Ohio. It's going to be a fun one, folks. You're joining us right now, just about done with prototype, well, qualifying in general. So let's get up that tower and the timing for you. Only about 11.5 minutes left. As you can see, we have Jake Demahan has the fastest lap with a 107.121 in the Cadillac DPI. He's on the provisional pole right now. He's got a big old gap on the 666 from Rookie Monsters. Taylor Lane having set a 107.8 in that car. Head on over to LMP2, and you'll find Sven Gilhold on provisional pole with a 108.450. That's a blistering fast lap. But look at that, the 999 Bence Horvath has that car in, well, only 4/10 off. Or 4/4 of, I don't know. It's too early in the morning, folks. 4/10? Yeah, I think so. Anyways, words are hard. Moral of the story, it's tight all around. Right now, though, we are on board with, I believe this is Sven Gilhold, sorry. Setting another, going even faster that time around. A 108.065, purple in all the sectors. That Iris LMP2 is flying right now. And he put a big gap on the 999, so they got some work to do. You can see Taylor Lane on an outlap right now. Whoop, there we go. Here's Tobias Blumchen in the crashed racing car. That's getting a big old slide. And I was saying he was going faster and looking like he was on a promising lap, but that's ended prematurely. So we continue. Simon Marshall in the 666 Rookie Monster. I actually have to go check something. This has made me aware of a fact that the two Rookie Monsters are running the same livery this race because of skin pack issues. So I'm going to have to find out which Rookie Monster is which. Let me get the handy-dandy commentator's notebook out. Make some space for it here on my unnecessarily cramped desk. See if we can figure out which Rookie Monster is which. This LMP2 car offline, trying to get out of Marshall's way. He's 6/10 down already in the first sector. You have to see if he can make it up through this, the S's here. That uphill bump there, and then this, where the track falls away into Thunder Valley. Very easy to get the tires spinning and lose a bunch of time. Marshall keeps it together nice and tidy, but he did lose quite a bit of time there in the second sector. Let's see what he can do now in the very short third. Through the carousel, onto the front straight. Oh, wow, just an LMP2 stopping off the side there. Hopefully that didn't hold him up at all. Doesn't seem like it did. Simon Marshall gets a 108.849. Goes a bit faster. Lots of people on outlaps here. Bruno Sousa Ferreira in the Epic. Giving up on this lap, it looks like. See if he's setting himself up for another attempt here. Only 8 minutes left. That's a few runs. Mid-Ohio is a small track. Pretty fast in these cars. No, he's not. He's abandoning and heading back to the pits. James Zuba in the Iris DPI. Right now, well, the second Iris DPI. Is that the second? I might be dumb. I think it is. Yes, it is. Jake Demahan's on pole. What am I doing with my life? Anyways, wow, that was a very strong first sector. Let's see if he can carry it on through the second now into the S's. Very easy to get the car unsettled, but he's got good control of it into Thunder Valley now. Using all the track, another strong sector. This might move him up the order. His teammate's got a very... Oh man, that's the worst possible time to catch traffic. Hopefully that didn't hold him up too much. Onto the front straight here, we'll see it at the line. It's a 108.1. That's enough to get him to third. Lost some time though, unfortunately, in the carousel. I imagine he'll be wanting to get another lap in. So here we go, back to Tobias Blumshine. I think this is the first time we've seen the crashed racing car, but I'm sure a lot of the people in it aren't exactly new. Oh boy, we get a little bit of a hang up there, but we're alright. Through Thunder Valley, now into... Whoa! I thought we had an issue there. No, Tobias did. He's off. And that will end that run. Fabian Valle in the Reading Game Studios car. Reading Game Studios Racing. That's quite the name, isn't it, folks? See what Fabian Valle can do. I think this is probably the best effort we've seen from them in terms of qualifying all season. They're up to 5th right now. Pretty strong effort. You can see that, whoa, there's a bit of drama going on in front of him. We're into the S's here. Oh no, the GRG! Hopefully that didn't hold him up too much. Over the hill and into Thunder Valley. Not a lot of corners at this track, folks. You'll realize I will be saying a few names quite often for corners. Now towards the carousel. Man, he's catching up to that DPI all the time. If you look at the timing screen, folks, if I was to put it into mixed, you would see... and I'll show you in a bit. It's quite intermixed between LMP2 and DPI. This is like very similar to last season, actually, in how we saw the LMP2s and the DPIs really going at each other. You can see the pole times are a second off between those two cars, but you can see the gap from first to third in DPI is a second. So the leading LMP2s are as fast as much of the, well, most of the DPI field, to be honest. It seems the power reductions and downforce reductions on the LMP2 not mattering too much, which isn't surprising. This is a track, I think, really puts skill over car ability, for sure. And I think some of the LMP2 drivers are skilled enough to overcome some of the deficits of their car. Here we go, Valle. Lost some time in the second sector. Through the carousel. Let's see what he can do at the line. So 108.7. He improves, but not enough to move forward. Looks like he's carrying on for another lap, though. No, he's not. Now here, Cosmo Pasquito in the RLR Abruzzi car. They're in second. He improved in both sectors, but was not enough to challenge the dominant Sven Gilhold. Head on over to the Epic. Luca Gray. He had a track cut or an off last lap, so it didn't count. So this will be a proper flying lap. Whoa, that is not going to help. Imagine that'll be that lap said and done. Oh, Bence Horvath. He was purple in the second sector and had to abandon there. That's, imagine that's frustrating. Jake Dennehan back on an outlap. And here's the GRG of Julian Vrack. Last year's GTLM leader, or winner, sorry, trying to make it in the tough old field of LMP2. He's abandoning that lap, though. Random Racing. The people who gave you the Funfetti Ferrari, they've gone a little bit more muted with their Orica on an outlap right now. Now here's a new team. Cerveau Competition. Lillian. I don't know if that's a French name or not, so I'm not going to say it. There's French stripes. We're going to say it's a French name, right? It's Lillian Ilaret. Let's go with that. That sounds nice. In the number 25, he's improving Or they are. We'll go with they. I actually don't know. Less clear in this case. I'm sure I will be told. At the line, wow, that's a good lap. It's a 109.063. Still 2 seconds off of the absolutely blistering place of Sven Gilhold, but I'm sure they will be more than happy to be moving forward in their first VISC entry. Olaf van der Stam in the Valle. This reformed Valle team. They're in 8th. I imagine they will want to be moving that car further up the order. As I get my notes ready. There we go. Better in the 2nd sector. Let's see what we can do in the 3rd. Oh, it gets a little bit too much curb. Cuts himself very wide. See if he improved either way. Really sending it. At least we know that much. The 109.5 at the line. Yeah, he lost a lot of time catching that curb. Car just doesn't seem terribly pliable right now. Head on over to Tobias Blumschein in the crashed racing car. Seeing a bunch of greens being put up on the board right now. A bunch of people improving. The other person improving is Alex Moore in the Hex. Had a pretty good intro to their season, I'd say Hex has. Woof, cuts a bit of grass, but it doesn't seem to upset the car too much. Right now, let me just check something here for myself. Yeah, the 150 is running. Oh, they did not know they had a DNF at Sebring. Never mind. I guess they're recovering from that DNF at Sebring. Forgot about that. It's been, it hasn't been that long since Sebring, I'm lying. 108.680. Lost some time in the 3rd sector there. There's another person putting greens on the board. It's the Mode Auto Concepts. Back. We haven't seen them since Daytona. Which, it's only been 1 round they've missed, to be honest. Sophie Jones behind the wheel of that Orica. Very strong 1st sector. Let's see what it was in the 2nd. Lost some time in the 2nd sector. Let's see what she can make up in this very brief 3rd. All about your... Oh, no! She ends up hopping over the curb, entering the carousel. That will definitely have lost her time. Yeah. Abandons that. Simon Marshall just finishing the lap. James Zuba. And that's qualifying, folks. Anyone else out there on a flyer? Our pole sitter is Jake Denahan, trying to really put his foot down on it before the race. A whole 10th faster in the 1st sect. 1.5 tenths, really. Oh, boy, car just struggling to comply with him into Thunder Valley. Lost a bit of time, not too much, though, into the 3rd sector now. Let's see if he can handle this a bit better. Hard on the brakes, into the carousel, he loses it, and that is that for his effort. Anyone else? Nope, I think that is it, folks. No, Lillian on a lap. They can do. Cross the line. Do not improve. So that is going to be it, folks, for qualifying. And let's head on over to warm-up, I believe. But we will take the chance to, let's, oh boy. Get something. I'll get it. I'm getting there. I'll figure myself out. There we go. Qualifying results. Takes me a hot second to remember where everything is every single round. So right now, we have Jake Denahan's team Iris on the pole.
So we're in warm-up now. You will have 30 minutes of warm-up and then we will go into the race at exactly the hour mark. During the race you will need to follow my instructions at the start so we can get the starting groups figured out.
If I can. Whoa, this was better in theory than it was in practice. Oh boy, I am sorry for everybody involved in this. Oh boy, there we go. Would have been very cool if I'd, like, you know, pre-recorded some nice shots. Oh, there's a nice one. We'll stick with this for a bit. So, Jake Dennehan on the pole in the 07 Iris. Taylor Lane in the Rookie Monster. You know what I actually forgot to do? I'll take this moment. I am getting myself together here, folks. We'll get there together. One step at a time. There we go. Awesome work, me. So, that is the true 666 in second position. Then we have Sven Gielhold. As I said, the LMP2's looking spicy here today to mess things up for the DPIs. That is the 77 Team Iris in third. 07 Iris, what car is that actually? That we gotta find out. The 07. James Zuba's in that car. James... There we go. So that's the 8. So the 8 Iris is in fourth. So the leading Iris, actually the 07. The second place Iris in DPI is the 08. Then we have the 999 Rookie Monster. Says 6. It's the 999 crew. Simon Marshall putting that car into fourth in class and fifth overall. Then Cosmo Pasciuto, really good qualifying from the 52 RLR crew, getting that car into second in LMP2. And it wouldn't be a bad qualifying position in the DPI field for that. Then we have the number 9 Epic, Bruno Sousa Ferreira, putting that car into sixth in class, seventh overall, followed by Luca Gray in the 89 Epic. Then we get to our third place qualifier in LMP2, Sophie Jones in the 86 Moto Auto Concepts. Then we head on over to Fabian Valle in the Reading Game Studio car. Let's head on over to the second page, if I don't mind. There we go. Bence Horvath in the 999 Koenig Sim Racing car. I'm confused. Not gonna lie, folks. I'm confused by what I just read. So let's find out what car he's actually in. Bence. It's the 99. So it's 2 9s, not the same 999 as the Rookie Monsters. Numbers are going to be a bit of fun to track, folks. After that, we head on over to the 114 Revolution Sim Racing car. Mohamed El Guriri in that car. Oliver Perikian in the Into the Points Racing, number 46. Alex Moore in the Hex 150, there in 14th. And they will be, think about midfield in the, let's see, before I make any big statements. Let's just put this over to DPI alone. And I won't be confused. There you go. Alex Moore in the Hex. And then Ike Sky in the second Hex car, the 160. Let's head on over to LMP2. Look at that qualifying order. Sven Gielhold, as I said. Cosmo Prosciutto. Sophie Jones. Fabian Ballet in the Reading Game Studio. Really good effort from Reading Game Studio to get that car into fourth. Bence Horvath in the 999 Koenig Sim Racing car. 46 is the Into the Points Racing entry. Oliver Perikian behind the wheel during qualifying. And we have the number 40 from Crash Racing, Tobias Blumschein in that vehicle for qualifying. Number 6 in 8th, that's the Valle. Then we head to 9th, number 25, Servo Competition. That's their first entry we've seen from them. And with the number 28 from Bottling Motorsport, who had a pretty good run at Sebring. I definitely remember that. Definitely looked like they were set for greater and better things, but I believe it fell apart near the end. They'll be starting from 10th. But only a second about covers the entire LMP2 field. So somebody mentioned one of the drivers that... Oh, wait. Never mind. There's even more LMP2s. The Reading Game Studio. Second one of their cars, Alejandro Valente behind the wheel for number 73. Aiden Coleman in the CDR. Running in 12th. Aiden said he had some pace to me last night, so we'll see if this was just a bad qualifying effort and if Aiden can turn it around. The second Valle, he beat a Valle, give him that. They are in 13th. Then we have the number 13. As you know it, that's the random racing car, Michael Rosasa setting their qualifying time. And then the number 75, last but not least, they're in 15th in LMP2, Julian Vrack behind the wheel of that car. Head on over to the GT field. And there you will find the Valle, Martin Novak, on the pole, and by some margin. Watch out, Team Iris, so dominant in terms of pace the last few races. They haven't really had a chance to convert it into a win. They're going to have to, if they're going to get their first win, they're going to have to fight their way through a very fast Martin Novak. You can see that car. It's, I believe that's is that a Porsche? That's a Porsche. Wow. Good on Valle, bringing a Porsche and making it work. It's not as if we've never seen a Porsche win. I'm just always happy to see the Porsche doing well. Head on over to Joe Gostidis in the 360, getting that car in a third. Good effort by the 360 crew. They've sort of been on the outside, not really on the outside. I don't want to make it seem like they were slow or anything, but they've certainly been one of the teams not quite in the top 3 usually. Usually around 5th, but it's good to see them. Potentially this could be the day. Right on their tail, though, they'll have to get behind Tommy Teasdale. Team Rookie Monsters doing a GT entry. Great to see Tommy Teasdale back. Great to have Rookie Monsters putting in a GT car. Andy Tomlinson in a Hex Sim Racing 170. I believe that's who we're actually... Nope, that's the 180, so there's another Hex. They head over to... Woo! As he goes wide just before the... What is this? I will have to look it up. Yes. So anyways, behind him in 6th is the number 96 TGM, Artur Saikula, starting that car. Then we head on over to the Gem number 90 with a disappointing qualifying effort, I think they would say. A car that's really been up the order all season. They'll have to fight their way up. They head over to Ben Sparrows and the Paul Street Boys. Whoa, somebody just died in the background. Somebody just took a express trip to the Shadow Realm. But yes, Ben Sparrows in the 754 Paul Street Boys. Then we head on over to the 117 Epic Racing Car. Chris Davis qualifying that machine. Then over to the 445 Pascal Eggert in the Fijne Avoind. Another car with a disappointing qualifying effort, I would think they would say. Fijne Avoind, really, I think they're our champion. Yeah, they are our championship leader in GTLM, but they'll be fighting back from 10th. And then over to the second Fijne Avoind, also quite a bit down the order. Peter Schuneman doing qualifying for them. And over to the second Valle, Nathan McDowell qualifying the number 16. He'll start that car. Head on over to the second TGM and 13th, number 97, Valentin Iliev qualified that car and will start it. And then here's a new entry for all of you. It's a Luffield Dynamics with Jean-Luc Grit? Jean-Luc Grit. Grit. That's an interesting name. But they will... Oh, they're using a Fijne Avoind. Oh, no, they are not. They are not. Oh, that's a... Is that a gem car? Maybe it's a gem car. Maybe they're associated. Don't know. Kent Ramsey in the 180 Hex. That's the second Hex. That's the Corvette I was talking about. Then we have Alejandro Peducci and the Adrenalina Racing Project by HSR. That's a Hex-associated car. That's number 44, and he will be rounding out the field today. Well, that was the most I've ever struggled to get through the qualifying order. What a day, folks. There we go. Oh boy, there's been a chat the whole time, and I haven't had it up. Yeah, massive VISC season 1 a moment. Massimiliano Riboli says. That is like... That was my first thought. Only full Valle on track is the GT car. That's curious. Porsche's OP in quality. Interesting, Callum Hambley. It'll be interesting to follow and see if they can carry that pace then.
We will be moving into the race session shortly,
Oh.
so just be prepared.
Am I prepared? We will find out. Hopefully the drivers are. There's the Porsche. And this is going to be the interesting part of this race. I think this race will be entirely decided by who can survive the traffic. That was a big part of Season 1 Mid-Ohio, which we raced around this time in 2020. How far we've come. And hopefully people's server connections is better than mine, because, oh boy, I think this is going to look scuffed, folks. Hopefully people's connections and pings are more stable than they are on the commentators' end of things. Fortunately, I don't have to drive, so I don't need I don't need to worry about quick reaction. Porsche sucks in the race. All right. Well, in about 2 hours, we'll know if you were right or wrong. Also, Jake Denahan has informed me he doesn't like the thumbnails I've been making for the races. Tragic. Absolutely tragic.
Yes, we are moving on to the race session now.
Oh, we're moving on to the race session now. Our humble race steward has informed us. So let's go, folks. So, let's run ourselves through.
So once we get to the grid, you are not allowed to move before I give you the go-ahead.
Such are the master's orders. Welcome to the VISC, everyone, for round 3 here at Mid-Ohio. That's a very funky-looking Mid-Ohio sports car course. My name is Christian, and I will be bringing you through this broadcast for the next 2.5 hours of racing around Mid-Ohio sports car course. Massimiliano Riboli says predictions for first Code 80. Oof.
So the DPIs are allowed to go now?
Somebody.
On pit limiter.
So we've had 2 people fail to get to the starting line. Kent Ramsey and Michael Rosazzo. So we're going to lose, I believe that's the random racing and the... which one is Kent Ramsey in there? He's in the Hex. We've lost the Hex and...
DPI catch up to each other. LMP2s can go now.
We lost a Hex and a random racing car. Head on over to... I'm not going to do the starting order again. That was such a train wreck. I'm just going to let the warm-up lap go. But yes, Code 80 predictions. I think we will get one in the first lap. I'm not going to lie. If we don't, then it will be as soon as the prototypes hit traffic. Those are my 2 shots in the dark for you, Massimiliano. But here we go. So I'm interested to see where they start this race, because as you can see that Valvoline sort of tower there on the left, that is usually where green flags are called at Mid-Ohio traditionally. Oh. And oh, there we go. Okay. That was spooky. Not gonna lie. I've had that happen to me in Assetto Corsa Competizione races when I'm actually driving, so at least I'm not driving this time. Here we go. This is actually a great moment, though, to talk about Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. So, this is in Lexington, Ohio. One of my favorite tracks. Not gonna lie. Very much associated with the Rahal family in real life. And here we are, following the DPIs through the S's. This is a 6, 7, 8 complex. The hill is turn 9. Very easy for the car to get unsettled at turn 9. And you come back down the hill quickly into Thunder Valley, under the bridge. Very short, straight, not a great passing zone either into turn 11 here. After a quick kink, turn 11 brings you to the carousel. Final corner of the track.
Starting the race, we will be restarting the warm-up, just because some cars got disconnected.
So, okay, so we're restarting the warm-up, folks. Some cars got disconnected. That would explain why. Oh! The GTs never got rolling. Anyways. What?
We will restart. Don't DM me, please.
Oh, boy. There you go. The LMP2s were a little bit more settled. So, let's crank. Oh boy, we'll just put that up, and let's. There's a horn blaring and everything, folks. Come on, let's. Oh boy, it's a bit of a mess out there, folks. Okay, thank God, my ears. Anyway. We'll get the server restarted. I have... There we go. That'll help. But yeah. So here we are. Just gonna give everything a moment to turn over. Code 80 prediction in -1 lap. Yeah, we had a bit of a turn of events there. We'll put it like that. But everything should be fine in a few moments. Just have to restart the server. And we'll keep an eye on it. See when things are rolling again. But yeah, Mid-Ohio, very fast, tight track. I think we've all been talking about Code 80s. I will be absolutely flabbergasted if we have no Code 80s. It's tough to deal with traffic. It's tough to overtake. You've only got a handful of good overtaking zones. Turn 2 and Turn 4 are really the only safe ones.
Please join the server. We will set up the grid again and go shortly.
Yep, gonna have to restart the grid. But yeah, only really 2 good opportunities to overtake. And as we've seen, the LMP2s and the DPIs, they are very tight together in terms of pace. So if you're a DPI trying to get around an LMP2, you're going to have to work to get it done. And you're only going to have really 2 good chances when the cars are that similar on pace. And I'm sure some people will not have the patience to get it done in the right spots. And that will bring out the Code 80s. Doesn't even mention the GTLMs that will be battling each other. We'll get in each other's way. And will certainly cause some drama and some pain for everybody involved. So, let's head back to the race, or the server. There we go. Just waiting for everyone to rejoin. I think just about everyone is back. We'll probably head on. Then we're going to have to let the boys upstairs sort out the grid. And then we'll be able to go back over to the race session. Let me get some of my fresh Canadian water. His Sonneveld says, please don't let to take this long. I have to watch Max crash out Lewis. Oh boy. Yeah. Very dramatic scenes likely to come. In Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, in the next few hours after this VISC race. Hamilton took the pole after one of the most tragic qualifying moments in F1 history. I'm sorry if this is spoilers, but I'd be shocked if you were a racing fan and didn't know what happened on Saturday. Woo. Yeah. But if you haven't, do yourself a favor and look up the qualifying highlights from Saturday. Going to be a dramatic afternoon of racing. Oh. So here we go. Take ourselves through the field, perhaps. Let's do that. And we will do that by starting out with Bence Horvath. Bence Horvath is in the Orica LMP2 car, the Orica 07. Basically one of the most successful LMP2 cars around. The Ligier is also an R Factor 2, but just like real life, not many people are running anything other than an Orica. It's almost a spec class at this point. They're theoretically supposed to be the second fastest cars, but here at Mid-Ohio, in the right hands, the Orica is quite the weapon. They will be causing some... Whoa! Don't want to do it like that. There's a Valle taking it for a spin. Yeah. They're quite fast little machines. Basically spec class of prototypes. Then we have our top class. These are the Cadillac DPIs. Basically upgraded LMP2 cars with a Cadillac V8 chucked in for good measure. Which LMP2 cars is Cadillac based on? Now I'm interested.
Swing back to warm up and we will be doing the grid. So just wait a second.
Yeah, there we go. Buying me some precious time to look like I know what I'm talking about. Wow, the Cadillac's based on the Dallara P217. Another LMP2 car you do not see in this game very often. Yeah, that's the one it's based on. Yeah, all the DPIs are based on LMP2 cars. Then they're given a rework by a factory team. And resold to customers and factory efforts alike as Daytona prototypes. Let's see if the things will move along for us here. There we go. Beautiful. Perfection. Yes, then we have our GTs, which come in a few flavors. You have the C8. The DPI actually has less aero than the LMP2s. Interesting. These are the things I like to know. Huh. Now, is that a real-life thing, or is that an R-Factor thing? So I'm fairly sure... Whoa! Well, there you go, folks. That is what we're concerned about in the race. Prototypes trying to send it up the inside of GTs. Yeah, that raises the question, is that like R-Factor 2 thing, or is that an actual thing in reality, that the LMP2s have more downforce than the DPIs? I know in reality IMSA strips a lot of downforce off the LMP2, so I wouldn't be surprised if a European Le Mans Series or ACO LMP2 were faster than an IMSA LMP2. That would not surprise me. There we go. That was an Iris DPI looking the wrong way. Right now we're on board the C8 GTLM. Behind a Ferrari GTLM. At a glance, they actually do look quite similar, these two cars, but very different, and they drive very differently. A great way to get the sense of the pace difference. That's why the Orca has an insane BOP in real life. Yeah, okay. There you go. Basically, Orca made the most overpowered Le Mans prototype of all time. And we're all living with the consequences. There's a pre- and a post-Orca 07 world. And we live in the post-Orca 07 world. Where it is just the best prototype. That's actually a funny thing to think about, really. Is there's a lot of hype around the all the different P1 prototypes from like the Audi and the Porsche and Toyota. Whoa, what is going on? But really, Orca probably has built the most consistently. Whoa, that's what you don't want to do, folks. It's gonna be an absolute melee. We are going to have a shootout in the Buckeye State. Oh, boy. That was spooky. I am hoping all of you on the server are having a better time with your connections than I am over here. Let it just be North American problems. Oh. Oh, boy. Let's see what the weather is over in Mid-Ohio. I actually haven't checked. Wow. I saw the temperature on the... yeah, David, you and death. Yeah. I saw the temperature prior to the race come up as 1 degree Celsius. And I was like, wow. It's a really... Alex must have gotten the location wrong on the real weather. No, it is actually 1 degree Celsius at Mid-Ohio. Now, R Factor 2, really the track temperature we learned... Well, I learned in Season 1 at least. I'm sure a lot of you folks already knew. Oh, big old drift. R Factor 2's track temperature doesn't really matter too much, if at all. So it being 1 degree Celsius is not the important thing. It's the potential for rain or lack thereof. And I'll be completely honest, folks, it looks like we should be dry the entirety of the event. There is some rain predicted in the forecast over the end of the day, but we're in a sprint, shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, just look at the hourly. Yeah, we're pretty much good unless this race somehow runs to 8 p.m. And I'll be honest with you folks, I will be stunned if that somehow happens. I don't think anybody wants to do that. Most of these drivers being European. Part of the reason for which DPI has less aero is because some aero performance was sacrificed to improve the styling of the cars, since they are a spec series, whereas the P2s are purely functional. Interesting. What do you know? Very IMSA to do that. Or very Grand Am to do that, I suppose, given that's a class from Grand Am. There is an alternate timeline where the ALMS survived, and I imagine we wouldn't have DPIs running around. But I am very much looking forward to the next rule set we're going to get, because I think we'll get some really, we'll get the LMDH and LMH cars running around in IMSA. Those will be some good and interesting races, especially Sebring and Daytona. Looking forward to it. And I'm very interested to see what ends up happening with R Factor in that sense. I know they addressed it in their most recent... okay. Alright. I know they addressed it in their most recent car vlog, that they're hoping to bring more modern GT and prototypes even after they've done the Le Mans game to R Factor 2. So I'll be very interested to see if that happens. I gotta be honest, this is like, there's no relationship, but my head's put them together. I don't know if anyone follows what happens. It's very American to say LMP2, but cooler looking, and stick that V8 motor in there. America, yes. DPI is something only that would have come out of the United States. But it's funny, I think my favorite DPIs are the Acura and the Mazda, so... Then again, I'm not American, so what do you know? But yeah. What was I going to say? Yes, the thing that has me concerned about the, them saying in the R-Factor 2 blog that they want to bring more prototypes and GT cars to this game. As those things develop, even after they made the ACO Le Mans game, as somebody who's a Battlefield fan, I've seen EA tear apart DICE and the Battlefield franchise since Battlefield 2042's release, and now I am deeply concerned that motorsports games might do the same if the, well, as they get their new games out, the IndyCar game and the ACO Le Mans game, if they will look at R-Factor 2's player numbers and say it's not worth it anymore to keep licensing content for this. I am concerned, folks. Hopefully I am wrong. But I have that lingering concern in my head. We'll see. So for those of you who are just joining us, we are just in the warm-up, waiting for the grid to get reset after we had to do a server restart. Okay. Yeah, we are just here waiting with the lovely race directors to sort out the grid. Got a message from Zenis Papa. We're almost done sorting out the grid, so another attempt at the start should happen soon. Fingers crossed. I can now say Lillian Hilaret is a guy. I have confirmed that now. Sorry to Lillian and your family. I screwed that up. VISC traditions. So yeah, well, let's see what ends up happening. Oh boy, is this thing's happening? No, it's not. Just my computer being bad. Yeah, as we sit here waiting. New server, folks. New server, figuring things out as we go. Woo, losing the rear wing and spinning out. Not the way you want to do it. Get that car reset. Well, at least nobody can say they aren't practiced for this. As I say this, we see the 89 take a big old spin. Here you go, Muhammad Al-Ghariri. You're on camera now in the RSR. Seems like a ping... Yeah, it is definitely a ping issue. I'm being incorrect for no good reason, to be honest. I think everyone would have understood if I had bad ping. At least the FPS looks good, yeah. I generally, like, I have a 3070 and a Ryzen 5 in this computer. It should be able to run R-Factor 2. No problem. And I've done quite a few races with it. Whoa! Big old incident in turn 1. Okay, so it's not an interesting question to ask if there will be a Code 80. It's almost not an interesting question to ask when there will be a Code 80. But the real interesting question is how many Code 80s? That's what I want to see, chat. What's your guess for how many Code 80s we're going to have in this race? Because I've seen many incidents just sitting here in the warm-up, and as I say that, we are turning to a Reading Games Studio racing car, taking the long way around turn number 2. And through turn 3, that's a start line they just passed. Looking at turn 4. Bit of a lockup. Holds it together just nice. Don't want to go into China Beach. That's the sand trap on the outside. Up and through 5. Through 6, 7, 8. The S's here. Cannot pass in the S's. Basically just a complete fact of reality here. Just a matter of physics, to be honest. Woo! Which we'd trying to get around a Corvette C8. 80! 80 code 80s. A clean 80 code 80s. I don't know if we have enough time to run through 80 code 80s. 80 incidents, I believe, but 80 code 80s? Now imagine 24 hours of Mid-Ohio. I could see it happening then. My computer's really similar, and with a full track, you can get 20 FPS while spectating on some tracks. That's it. Oh, there we go. We're on to the grid up ceremony. The classic can please all personnel leave the grid.
Be prepared for the start.
Apparently, I was told that that was also an R Factor 1, that message. But yes, it is relative. I know a lot of people have issues with the Nürburgring endurance layout, like the full Nordschleife, sorry. I haven't had issues with the full Nordschleife. So, it depends. I'm in North America, so usually ping is the bigger limiter than FPS.
DPIs are allowed to go?
FPS becomes an issue when there's a very long replay file, though, so usually I have to leave the server after 5-6 hours to get my FPS back. So here we go! Well, you know what, folks? It's been long enough. It's probably worth
are allowed to go?
going through the starting order.
The leader of the pack, please engage pit limiter on DPI and LMP2.
We will not be using that starting order because I know it will be too fast for any person to get through. So let's look.
GTLM, you are allowed to go.
Through this. So we have the 07 Iris on the pole, followed by the 666 Rookie Monster. Then the 07, sorry, I think that's the 08 Iris. It says 07, it's the 08. James Zhu behind the wheel of that car. They're in third. Simon Marshall in the 999. I know it says 666, it's the 999. They're in fourth. Then we have the Epic, number 9 in fifth. The 114 Revolution Sim Racing in sixth. The number 7, the 150 from Hex Sim Racing in seventh. And then we have the second Hex, the 150 in
rear wing,
eighth.
please pit as soon as you can.
Somebody's already lost a rear wing, folks. We haven't even gotten through the warm-up. And there's somebody without a rear wing. Let's get that rear wing counter going. Already, we're at 1. Yes. We have Sven Gielhold. What just happened to my wonderful list? Oh, there we go. Perfect. So, Sven Gielhold in the number 77. Oh.
Every one of you, please behave this time. I will not do this again.
Okay. So, we're giving we're handing out never mind. I don't know the word. Too early in the morning for my tired Canadian brain. But somebody's been given a hand by the almighty and ever gracious race stewards for losing a wing. We partake in considerable amounts of tomfoolery is a good meme. A GT wiped out all of the LMP2 cars? Oh my goodness. Ay, ay, ay. I had faith in people. Okay.
DPIs are allowed to go.
Yep. There we go. Having to filter some DPIs through that got out-qualified. And that's fine. This is the price of the game, folks.
LMP2s are allowed to go.
So we've had 2 DNFs from the LMP2, so 2 people had disconnects. That's unfortunate. But yeah, Sven Gielhold. Then it's Cosmo Pasciuto in the RLR. 52.
GTLM are allowed to go.
That's the number 86.
Everyone, please keep pit limiter. If you are allowed to catch up to the car in front without pit limiter, but please, when you do so, engage the pit limiter.
Yes. Number 52, RLR. That's number 86, Mode Auto Concepts. That's the number 72, Reading Game Studio. As I said before, really good qualifying effort from Valle to get that Reading Game Studio car into a very competitive 4th position. Then we head on over to the 99. I know it says 999. It's the 99. Koning Sim Racing. Benz Horvath behind the wheel of that vehicle. Then head over to the 46. Into the points racing. Into the points racing, number 46, Oliver Perikian behind the wheel of that machine. Then we head over to the crashed racing, number 40, Tobias Blumschein behind the wheel for that. And on the start, then Servo Competizione, Lillian Ilaret,
so
the number 25.
The LMP2 field, please overtake and catch up to your respective field. LMP2s, please allow these cars to go through you.
I know from having done race stewarding before, this is the most stressful thing to do, is to give commands during the pace lap. Then we head over to the number 73 Reading Game Studio car, Alejandro Valente behind the wheel.
Please take your respective positions in your own field. Everyone else on pit limiter.
Then we head on over to the first of our Valles. Valle having a rough...
Prepare for people to overtake you from behind, so that the DPIs who were caught behind will get their own positions back.
Interesting, those LMP2s are staying 2x2. Normally they go single file.
Thank you.
What was I gonna say? Yes. Number 6, Olaf van der Steen behind the wheel of number 6, Valle for qualifying. He'll be there on the start. Probably a rough qualifying from Valle, I think we'd all say. Then we head over to the number 11, second Valle, in 11th position. Look at that. Then we went over to the number 12, in 12th position. CDR, Aiden Colden behind the wheel of that car in qualifying. Number 75, GRG in 13th. Then we have the Bottling Motorsport, number 28, and the number 13 from Random Racing. I'm wondering if that...
Double file.
Oh, double file. There we go. Head on over to the GTLMs. And we will find a very pleased Martin Novak on pole in the Porsche. I think that's the first time we've seen a Porsche pole in the VISC. Number 77, 10 Lauer in second. Or the 777, sorry. 10 Lauer in second in the Corvettes. Number 6 should be P8. Yeah, I thought there was something that changed in qualifying for the LMP2s. Must have been the server issues. Then we're over to the number 30.
Prepare for green.
Oh, yep, here we go. I will have to carry on later, folks. I'm sorry, GT Field. And here we go, going for the green.
Green.
And there we go, DPI green, and everybody's already flashing out. So we head down towards turn 4.
LMP2 prepare for green.
Jake Denahan is clear and free, and there's already been a big incident in the back. Guerrieri's off and into China Beach. We'll have to recover as the LMP2 field comes streaming past. And they're already 4 or 5 wide heading down the straight. Absolute chaos in the LMP2 field. Big incidents in the back. It's the reading game.
Green.
Oh my goodness, folks.
Code 80 in 10 seconds.
Oh no.
5.
They're off in
4,
China Beach.
3, 2, 1. Code 8 enforced. Code 8 enforced. No overtaking.
Oh boy, and there's already incidents in the GT field. So we're trying to back off to avoid the code 8, the incident in China Beach. Oh man, a lot to dissect in that first lap. Let's take a moment here. Oh boy. Here we go. See if we can unpack what just happened. And we'll start out with the RSR, I think, because I think that's where the drama really begins. So let's go. So this is focusing on the RSR of Guerrieri. catches the Iris, gets collected by a rookie monster. And that's all they wrote. Let's look at it from the perspective of Taylor Lane.
We go back to green in 10 seconds.
You can see, gets deep on the brakes. He just locks up the
5,
brakes, gets
4,
into the back of the Iris.
2, 1. Green, green, green. Green, green, green.
And chaos unfolds. They're off nice and fine right now. See the GT field, though. Already the Iris trying to find a way past the Valle. And he's through just like that. And the GTs might have had a scuffed start, but they are running just fine right now. Oh, a bit wide, though, and somebody's slow. One of the LMP2s is slow ahead. Hopefully not too damaged. It looks like a... I'm not sure who that is. See this battle for first going on in GTLM. Valle versus... Oh, and there's a penalty for Guerrieri. Unfortunate. Alejandro Valente saying the race shouldn't be happening. I'm wondering if the issues I've had on my connection end are the same that the drivers are having. It's a battle into turn 2, the keyhole. Oliver Perikian coming out the better in that fight. Down towards turn 4, China Beach. All nice and safe. Yeah, lag. I'm wondering if there is server issues. I am not the person to go to for that, unfortunately. On board with the Hex. Aston Martin. Getting past the 360. Ferrari into turn 4. That'll move him up to 3rd. Yeah, let's see. Let's see how it goes. Let's troop through this. And there you go. That's a Hex into 3rd, folks. Sven Gilhold on the recovery. You can see Criscos, Sakunas, probably on the better end of how things are going right now. Team Iris 77 trying to find a way around the Valle. VMS Sun at its car. Can he make it happen? He does. Great pass from Sven Gilhold. Meanwhile, up front, it's 2 Irises leading the way. They're just getting into the traffic, though, right now, and they're going to have to get through that. There's a Hex Sim Racing C8 Corvette. Yellow at Sector 3. I wonder what that is for. Doesn't seem to have affected these two. On the brakes hard into turn 4. Up into turn 5. They're going to have a Corvette C8. Another one to get around. Classic question now of, are the teammates fighting? Probably not. Surviving is the first thing you have to do at Mid-Ohio. And if there are really some issues... Oh, somebody's off! It's a C8 Corvette. Who was that? Alejandro Paducci.
Change drivers. We cannot have this continuing.
Trying to get that car going. Oh, boy. Oh, no! Catches the... Hopefully that Rookie Monsters is not damaged. Oh, no, but the GRG definitely is. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, no. Alejandro Paducci right now trying to just sort of get out of the way. And that's stricken C8. And he will be safely off the track, fortunately. And Luca Gray, the Epic, is out. Already some casualties here at Mid-Ohio. Here are the two Team Irises trying to get the Paul Street Boys Porsche out of the way. Oh boy, that looked a little bit rough. Zuba's around though. Don't want to get these passes done in the S's unless you have to. Looking fine right now though. Oh boy, into the carousel. I believe that's the Gem Ferrari now holding up. Jake Dennehan. Elsewhere, here's the midfield battle in LMP2. It is awfully nice and tidy. Fortunately, very close together in this fight. Gotta wonder if that GRG, which has found itself quite far up the order... Oh no, it's actually a lap down. I lied. That's a lap down car actually in front of these folks. See this battle for the third going on. In LMP2. Now they got traffic to deal with to add to all of this. It's the 180 Hex. We're all gonna streak around, fortunately, all comfortably. Now here we go, down towards turn 4. Sophie Jones leading this train. She's got a nice little gap over the Bottling Motorsport, number 28. You head into turn 5, up the hill, down, turn 6, and into the S's. As close as you like here in LMP2. Oh no, there's a car around, and that takes out Sophie Jones! Oh no, Sophie Jones on the run for a podium.
If you are experiencing any lag, just tell your teammates and report back to me. I need this information right now.
Okay, so we're having a conversation about lag upstairs. James Zuba. Not really. I don't know why I said James Zuba. Sophie Jones, though, who was running third, taken out by a sideways C8. Not helping whatsoever. Battle continues for third, though. Fast start-finish. Looking into turn 4 and more traffic. It's already played a big hand in this fight. You have to hope it doesn't do more than it's supposed to. Right now, Karikian and Gilhold both getting caught up behind that C8. Jake Dennehan sets another fastest lap. Tobias Blumschein can try and get around. A red flag, folks.
Red flag, red flag. The race is ended. Red flag, race is stopped.
And that's gonna be, at least for now, a pause.
So I repeat, we are currently under red flag. The race has been stopped. The race has been stopped.
Nice and tidy, heading to the pits. Well, it was nice and tidy for a bit. Yeah, I am having the sneaking suspicion much of the drama in this race is not the fault of the competitors. But let's see. As we see a Fijne Avoind taking the scenic parking. So we'll head on over.
So the race has been red flagged. This means that the race will not continue. We have just decided that the race will not happen today. It will be postponed or cancelled. That's up to the decision of the management team in the future. But the race is red flagged now, and we will not be racing today. I apologize to anybody that has come today for the issues caused by the server. I hope that we will see you in the future.
So there you go, folks.
If you have any feedback you would like to give us, please message me or anyone, and we will sort it out. Thank you.
Yeah, so race has been postponed. Hopefully we'll have a plan going forward. Certainly we'll be racing next week at Mosport. Hopefully we'll figure out what was wrong with the server by then. Yeah, that is tough to see. Although fortunately, congrats to the stewards for being willing to make that decision. It's never easy to make that decision, cancel a race, when you have all these people coming out to take part in one. But, yeah, very much unfortunate. So, yeah. We'll keep you all posted on the Discord. I'll try and put some feelers out on the Twitter as well. We will see what the plan is. But, yeah, definitely we'll be racing at Mosport next week. And then hopefully we'll reschedule this Mid-Ohio round, because it is certainly one of my favorite tracks on the VISC calendar. But, yeah. With that, folks, I think I'll be wishing you all a pleasant adieu. Hopefully you all enjoy the F1 race. Adios.